In the top right, it's Team Vitality's Maru. And in the bottom left, it is Gumiho, who used to play for Psystorm Gaming and then Cloud9. I'm not sure if he is actually in a team currently. Jamming the Terran music here on that TvT. It's already said today, or in the announcement or in the title, that today is gonna be a very tiny stream. Not sure if I can finish this series. I have like 1 hour to go. Then I have an appointment later on, which I unfortunately cannot push away or to a different time. But better than nothing. Gumiho going for a double gas. Excuse me, Gumiho going for the double gas. Maru is going for that normal Reaper expand. Even though in a TvT Reaper expand is quite risky. And once upon a great Terran from Germany told me that if you go Reaper expand, you have to SCV scout. And that's exactly what Maru is doing right now. That great Terran is basically the greatest human that has ever to walk this earth, or that has ever had the earth in his grasp or palm. It is of course Big Gabe. And apparently Maru does follow that same rulebook. If you go Reaper expand, you have to SCV scout. And if you see an SCV scout, you kind of already assume, wait, did you Reaper expand? First Reaper from Gumiho is making its way across the map here, but oh, he's actually, wait, well, we do have 1 Reaper here from Maru, who's chilling there, and then he's gonna make Marines now. Throwing down that factory. He's not producing an add-on as of yet. The Marine is gonna meet that Reaper, but he has to evacuate because he just cannot win that one-on-one. But it does push the Reaper out, so no big damage dealt, no big scout even here. Second Reaper on the way. Is pairing up with the Hellion, and Gumiho already decides to do something weird. We are gonna see a tech clip first. That's a very unique scenario. Usually you always see that reactor. He's going into immediate double tech lab. I kind of assume this is gonna be to have a very fast Raven with quick tanks, but I could also, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be like Cloaked Banshees or anything really, like Cyclone Cloaked Banshee. You can also see stuff like that from Gumiho. There can be literally anything on the board here. I'm trying to find some damage, but does not actually kill the units. He needs to get some last hits here. Gets that Marine there finally. Now he has that Hellion, and Reaper are kind of stuck in this area. The Hellion is gonna come to finish those. And the Reaper trying to go up. He was looking for the other Reaper, but that got pulled away by Maru, so... Oh, he does not get out. And there we go, it's gonna be Cyclone Banshee. I love my Gumiho, man. There we go, reactor on the way. As you can see, Maru did make a reactor first. He made a tech lab on his factory for the tank, and he's gonna produce vanilla units from that starboard, which is gonna be a Viking for now. Add-on less units, basically. And that's a good scout here by Maru. He's gonna find out about that 30cc. He sees the double tech lab production. He sees that Banshee. Oh, I guess he didn't see the Banshee, but he knows that some tech unit is most likely coming from the starboard, either a Raven or a Banshee. It's a great scout. And he has that Viking. There's no cloak. This looks really good for Maru, actually. He has all the information he needs, and he's already in position to intercept what Gumiho is doing. And Gumiho cannot get away. I don't think the Banshee can flee. 3.85? 3.85. Okay. You can flee if you turn around quick enough, I guess. This is something where players like Maru, for example, if they play this, they also send out the Cyclone at the same time in the same direction. And once the Viking turns and tries to kill that Banshee, he does eat a little bit of damage on the Banshee, and then he tries to kill the Viking with the Cyclone. Now Gumiho is kind of getting that idea afterwards at this point. He's like, wait, if you have one Viking, I can maybe utilize my Cyclone to snipe your Viking. But he already ate one hit on that Banshee. Now Maru is gonna scout that Banshee again with the Viking. Oh, sorry, with the Hellion. He knows that it's coming there, but Hellion does find out about the Cyclone, so only the Hellion does die. And the Viking is gonna stay at home. Eats a hit on that Banshee. Unfortunately, trap is not gonna snap. Now, Gumiho is going Mech. There we go. He's already floating his barracks. Oh, wow. Wait, that was the Raven, wasn't it? I can't believe it. That was the Raven here going down for Gumiho. That's very sloppy. Now the Banshee's gonna maybe get a kill. And he does scout that bio follow-up. So he has an idea now what Maru is doing. Oops. He sees 2 barracks. He sees the 3rd barracks. It's definitely a bio play. Gumiho is actually pushing out. I wonder, I have seen him do this on this map specifically. It might be an ultra love thing, just because the middle is kind of easy to hold with all of these high grounds and ramps. And you can just put tanks there. And if you get a split map and you have the efficiency on your side with that mech, then you should have a good time, because, I mean, you'll mine more eventually, or mine the same, but you'll trade better, so you'll have more money. The Vikings trying to chase down those Ravens, but in the end, can he kill this command center? He has a lot of Vikings. 4 Vikings is nothing to scoff at. Cyclone also adding some damage. If the tanks would have been in position here to shell away at those SCVs, but in the end, the command center is gonna get repaired. He's not gonna get killed, I'm pretty sure. No. Not gonna lose that one. One Viking does die. But if he had that Raven with an Interference Matrix, he could have taken out that tank. He's trying to poke again on that orbiter. Fortunately does not get that one, unfortunately for Gumiho. Now that Banshee is still alive and it got repaired. Now he's shelling away at the tank here, almost killing that one. More Vikings coming in. That command center is definitely in danger. If Gumiho, he sees that rotation with a scan, if he just rotates himself down there, he has those 2 tanks, keeps them sieged up. He does not find out about Maru's rotation though. Maru smartly pushing out. He recognizes that there is no medevacs, so the danger of this army actually getting into the base are 0. And it's all about the Vikings and the tanks. He's basically playing Viking tank. It's such a funny composition, man. One Cyclone is gonna get sniped by those Marines. And at the exact same time, the Cyclone from Maru gets sacrificed into the double tank shot. Now we do see the surprise attack with those Ravens. All 5 tanks get disabled. Nothing on the ground here to assist. Vikings. Is he gonna pull back? Is he gonna land? He's gonna pull back. That's a great breakout here from Maru. I missed the start. What event was this game played for? This is a best of 5 from the Home Story Cup between Gumiho and Maru. The Vikings sniping some medevacs could be nice, but they just boost out in time here. Maru is gonna chase down these Vikings. Almost getting one. Maybe it can snipe one of those. No, he's not gonna get it. Vikings though getting into that main base. He's gonna settle for a supply depot because he does not want to risk it. But he could have killed a bunch of SCVs there. But probably sacrificing all of those Vikings. He's still gonna keep all of them alive. That's kind of crazy. Now Maru is shocking to find an opening here. And we do see battle cruisers. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we do see battle cruisers. He's just playing air. He's not even playing mech, he's playing air. He's sky terraning this up. And Maru's like, wait, what? Let me drop into your main, into everything. And Vikings are starting to shell away at SCVs. They kill them so fast. 14 already dying within seconds. The defenses are still strong for Gumiho. Can he kind of snowball this? Viking battlecruiser style here. He's trying to evacuate those Vikings, but he's gonna lose a lot of those. If he gets boxed in here, battlecruiser needs to fight bio. But he can kill Marines. This is not enough Marines. You can kill them, especially if you kite like this and the medevacs are not properly healing. Can't kill off these Marines. Now Vikings coming back again. If he could cancel some of those upgrades, that would be amazing. But Marines are gonna be good enough here to push away these Vikings and keep everything safe at the same time. But 21 SCVs did fall here. Maru quite far behind. That being said though, as great as I think this style is, and as much as I love battlecruisers and everything I see, this is the first set of upgrades that's being started here. And Gumiho, he forgot the third armory. If he plays Sky Turn at the same time as Mech, he needs to get all of those upgrades at the same time. It's a very huge investment, but I mean, he has the bank currently, he has the investment power, he has 4 bases, 5th base about to get landed here, and Maru is struggling to retake his 3rd at this point. I mean, that was the 3rd basically, but he never got up to a 4th. So he's just about to be on 4 bases here. Gumiho had a base, is gonna be insanely well good for him. Also, sends a turret just in the nick of time here to find out about this movement. And now he can adjust his own army movement. He does have a lot of siege tanks here. It's a very defensive setup. I kind of like this map actually, Ultra Love, in this TvT scenario. It looks like a really cool TvT map. It's kind of weird, but it looks like a really, really cool TvT map, to be honest. It's like it can be split through the middle very nicely there, with those siege tank lines and defensive structures. Now Maru is about to start his 3-3 here. He's getting up into this ship or mechanical plating to get the armor upgrades for his tanks and medevacs and Vikings and Ravens. But he never really manages to get that many air units. Oh, that's an annoying Marine. Oh, he even walks into the planetary, man. He was like, alright, he wanted to grab that fire. And the Gumiho is about to be maxed out in a moment here. He's about to hit his peak with Yamato cannon, 1-1 upgrades. And unfortunately, as I said, he did forget the 3rd armory, so the ship weapons is a little bit desynced. Now, how many battlecruisers do we have? Only 2, and they're gonna fly across the north. That's a harassment group, basically. And Gumiho is gonna play tank Viking mostly. No, there's no Ravens in this army, really. And he still has that 1 Banshee, man. Oh, I guess he's still gonna keep it alive. It's crazy. That armor upgrade making all the difference. The Banshee, now it's gonna finally fall here. No, still. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Banshee's still staying alive here. And still poke away at those tanks. Now finally it's gonna get killed. And this is where the battlecruisers come in. They can Yamato 2 of those. They could even Yamato those Ravens. Now he's gonna go for tanks, I assume. Yeah, there we go. And he's just gonna breach this position. He can now edge in with his own tanks. He tries to snipe that last tank with the Cyclone. There we go. That's such a crazy execution, man. He has like a plan for everything. This is so cool to see. A group of 2 battlecruisers teleport in, snipe 2 tanks with the Yamato cannons, then a group of 3 Cyclone walks in, snipes the last tank with those lock-ons, and then he... Oh my god! If Maru can collapse those turrets on top of that army, could he possibly kill and burrow a lot of those units? Maybe, but I don't think he has the time for it. He has to exactly engage those units itself, and all of the air army is gonna completely get wrecked. He tries to collapse the turrets, and he does kill 2 of those tanks. But still, in the end, it's not enough. It's a cool move, though. That was great. Maru collapsing the cooling tower and killing 2 tanks there. Amazing. Great first map there. Gumiho playing a insanely cool style. Such a beautiful execution. Everything calculated perfectly. Just the... I don't know, everything was just looking like it fit together so nicely. Alright, now next map of this best of 5. Gonna be on Frostline. And in the top right, we do have Maru. In the bottom left, we do have Gumiho. And Maru is gonna proxy. 2 SCVs already going across the map here. I wonder where exactly he's gonna proxy. You can actually kind of build your stuff here and then jump over there. You can, yeah, he's gonna build it down here, I guess. You could even lift and make like Marauders or something. Go full crazy. Now he's gonna produce it down here at the 3rd base location. And there's your jump up point. There's a 2nd jump up point if you need one. Gumiho seems to be going for that 1 Rex expand. I think that's a free win for Maru. Should be a little bit rock paper scissory if you can snowball the first 2 Reapers into the second, into like the number 3 and 4. It's very, very rough to come back here. Now Gumiho's making the mistake that he's not SCV scouting. As I said in the earlier game, Maru did that. He SCV scouted and Gumiho does not. If you go for that 1 Reaper expand, as the big Gabe told me, you have to SCV scout. And that's not happening, and that's why Gumiho has to GG here very, very shortly. Oh, he's even making a Marine, that's even worse. But he is placing down a factory before he's making his command center, so that's a little bit of a saving grace here. Maybe he can get out a Cyclone or something to deal with those Reapers. He most likely is gonna be forced to produce some Hellions. I mean, you can defend it with Hellions. He's kind of starting to smell something, I feel like. He's starting to smell something. He's producing weirdly units. Like a Marine first, then into a Reaper, and into most likely a Hellion with that quick factory behind this. And then into the command center. So yeah, man. I think he smelled something. Star senses are tingling. He's just producing as many units as he can currently. And double Reaper coming in, but Reaper Marine is gonna be okay. Maybe you can snipe one of those Reapers. If Maru loses a Reaper, I mean Gumiho loses a Reaper here, that's not good. But if Maru loses a Reaper, the snowball is gonna be very tough to do. Now, 1 Hellion is gonna pop here in a second, it's gonna get a shot on that Reaper. Can he kill it? Yes, that's a great deny on that snowball. Or delay at least. And it feels like, yeah, if you cannot snowball those first 4 Reapers, it's gonna be very tough for the aggressor here. Now that's a good snipe on that SCV. And it's gonna delay the command center. But Maru is still quite far behind. He's still making his factory. He has no command center way himself. I think he's about to place it here in just a moment. Gumiho is already retaking his base here in the south. Oh, in the south then. Natural. And see, Maru is just being started up. And he has like no production at home about that factory. He still needs to produce a few Reapers to stay safe. I think he's actually producing a lot of Reapers still. He's going up to, what, 5 Reapers? 6 Reapers even. That's quite a mile. Now Gumiho's trying to go across the map. That's maybe a little bit too risky for my taste, but he says, alright, so what? If you have nothing, I can maybe kill you. Let's see. Let me take a risk. I'm up 1 map. 1 Hellion and 4 Reapers against 3 Hellions and 2 Reapers. I wonder what who that favors. I guess it comes down to engagement. If we have a great line, a great stack, then Gumiho is gonna get the favor, but if we don't, then Maru should be in the lead here. And Maru is pulling back his injured units quite nicely, and he's gonna clear up this army here. 2 Reapers might escape, but he does do a delay to that command center, and that's a good delay. Maru is he's trying to hunt these down. He wants to box them in, and Gumi's like, alright, let's trade. But he won't even get 1. 4 Reapers against 1, sorry, 2, and it's Maru Reapers. He's still producing Reapers, by the way. This is kind of crazy. He's making Reaper Hellion Medimech? He has a tech lab now. He could produce some Cyclones. There we go. He's queuing up the first one, but unfortunately he's supply blocked currently. Now you don't need a Medimech to elevate your Reapers into a main base, but it's helpful. It does heal them in combat. I think Maru could possibly break Gumiho here. But oh god, I didn't see the tank. If it gets sieged... there we go. It gets sieged. Now I just hope Maru does not run in like this into the tank fire. He has 2 Reapers in the front. He's not gonna stay like that. He's gonna go up. He has the barracks scouting, but there we go. First shot is gonna connect. Now this is still a very big amount of potential damage coming in now. The Raven, if it will throw down an auto turret to try and cut off the retreat, you could possibly force an engagement here. He's gonna lose a supply depot. Yeah, that's gonna be lost. And the auto turret is gonna be thrown down defensively here. The Ravens are actually kind of scared because usually it's Marines, but there's nothing that can shoot up. So you can actually just park them here and throw down auto turrets whenever you need to. He's gonna throw, there we go, that's the one I wanted to see. He's gonna throw that one down, trying to go for the lock-on. Gets the lock-on, can he kill the medivac? Oh, he does kill it! Oh my god. Now Maru, are you gonna go ahead? Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? No, the Cyclone's gonna block it. Nah. A great attempt. And Maru's gonna GG. I wonder if he would have gotten the block and grabbed the reactor, if he would have GG'd or not. That's one of the greatest GG timings. Oh my god. So Gumiho up 2-0 against Maru in the best of 5. That's pretty slick. Very well played here by the god himself. Next map is gonna be ley lines. As we hop into this best of 5. You'll see in the bottom left, Vitality is Maru, in the top right, the god himself, Gumiho. He says you don't even need to SCV scout if you go Reaper Expand, because I didn't go Reaper Expand. I went Marine, Factory, Reaper Hallion Expand. So that's when I don't need to scout. Walling in that jump up point here. Maru, can he actually get a win over Gumiho? He has been kind of behind every game so far. It's only 2 games though, but Gumiho is a specialist in TvT and it's just so difficult to break him or win a best of 5 series over him, even if you're Maru. Maru sending out an SCV, even though he is double gassing. Is this a proxy? Is he gonna proxy something? Does Maru just not want to play TvT? This is a very weird SCV in my opinion. He's gonna get that Reaper, so he doesn't need the scout. He's gonna scout something. No? He's gonna check for that low ground expand. He's actually just gonna go into the main base. Alright, it's just a normal scout. And yeah, he's gonna see everything as a double gas opening, he sees the factory timing, and he's just gonna go out. We just follow that SCV for tonight. Oh, see? He's doing something. He's making decisions. I guess we have to check out the Reaper here in a moment. Reaper engage about to happen. Oh no, actually Maru went for that reactor, so he has no Reaper out yet. And Gumiho is chilling. Oh no! He just moves out of position there. Great. move by Maru, keeping that SCV safe. And Gumiho is gonna pull back his Reaper. Now the SCV he used to scout is working on the gas. And he'll probably do that for quite a while. Unless there's gonna be an attack. Alien Reaper again. Being produced for both players. Maru not so much, only he Reapers. Oh, sorry, Gumiho. For some reason I swapped their colors in my head. I think because Gumiho was on the bottom the other two games. And now he's on the top. Now this looks pretty good for Maru. In my opinion. He defended everything. And it feels like he should have a little bit of a better footing. But it is just super even. There's like no big advantage for anyone. Civs are even, tech is relatively even. You see that double tech lab here. No tech lab yet for Gumiho. He's making a medevac. And potentially deal some damage with his units. Maru is already going into those ravens I figure in just a moment here. He's lacking the gas though, getting that cyclone. I wonder why I got that tech lab on the start, but it doesn't really do anything for him. Now Maru is gonna come in, one marine to scout, tank is gonna shoot. The Hellion just stopping on top of that Reaper mine because he says, I don't care. And that's a good scout. He sees that medevac. Of course, Gumiho knows that he was seen. And that's a weird drop, by the way. He drops the Reapers now. That's a weird drop. Now he has the Hellion as well in that one. And that tank needs to siege up. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunately. Sieging up a tiny bit too late. Could have gotten a Reaper kill there. And the Hellion, the Hellion Reaper from Maru keeps that medevac back at home, and that's actually a good delay on that drop. It's not really coming at all at this point. Double Viking here from Gumiho very early. No Raven, no tech lab on that barracks. Now he's gonna make one, but he could always shift over. We'll have to wait and see if he goes for something like Mech or Sky Turret again. Maru is going relatively standard so far, still on that 111 production here. No, actually he's making a second starport, there we go. He's hiding that a little bit. And he's gonna go Vanilla Marine, and he can actually utilize that add-on to get Stim. But he's gonna make that tank Viking push happen here. And if both players push, the defender usually has an edge. Now Gumiho is not pushing with extra production facilities, so he is gonna be at a double disadvantage. His reinforcements are quite far away, and he just lacks one production facility against Maru. And he's going into that third base, so this is more like a poke than an actual push. It's gonna kill a supply depot, and he might just move away. But Maru is gonna be fully committed here. He has to make something work, because he has a triple Viking production at this point. Now auditors come in down here, and if you can break this army, man, Vikings are insanely strong against those tanks. You need to be careful here. And once those are getting rid of, the Marines are decent against the Vikings. And everything is kind of starting to fall apart here from Gumiho. That tank is gonna block the double Viking to try and evade there. And the Vikings landing and just walking back is such a weird sight. I don't know why that is happening. They're sacrificing those Vikings. He's gonna lose another one here. That a Viking. Oh my god, a Viking died to a Hellion. That's not something you see every day. Gumiho has nothing to fall back to. He has a third base, but it's fully exposed. The Vikings coming in here. Another auto turret is gonna land and deal some damage. The CVs coming to fight, but the tanks are all gonna get cleaned up. And Vikings starting to float in the air here. It's gonna kill that Raven as well. Raven is gonna get a scout at least. He's not gonna have any energy. The Raven should die, shouldn't it? Yeah, he gets the Raven. And the third base is going to be lifted. Third base attempt here from Maru at the same time. So at least he got that done, I guess. So he evened out the economy. And he has that one production facility up. That's the advantage, I guess, for him. None of the players have researched anything for their marines yet. This is a little bit of a funny situation. Might float over that starport. Yeah, this is like Terran versus Terran was supposed to be. Landed Vikings against floating Vikings and tanks against tanks. This is basically Goliath tank against Goliath tank, just and Wraith tank against Wraith tank, just different. Oh, those SCVs. Maybe walking through the tank fire. Did not. Did pull away. A bunch of scans coming down. Maru throwing down a fourth base, trying to get ahead of the curve, but already Gumiho has a fourth building as well. It's not on location though. Man, those SCVs are living on the edge there. That's crazy. Oh, he's actually gonna break this with SCVs and everything, but it's only one tank, so he needs to pull back those SCVs. Cyclones are locking on those Vikings, pushing those out. And Maru is gonna play Mech himself. Man. He's gonna master up his Mech. And we do see another factory explosion here for Gumiho as well. So Meching it up. Both players. I'm gonna see the Mech against Mech. I think it's been ages. Now who's gonna Mech it happen better? Already, so one thing that I really like about Maru's position, he's not like more than Mech, he's going into that Sky Terran and already thrown down another starport. He's gonna be on 3 starport, he already has that air advantage, 12 against 8 Vikings, and Gumiho needs to kind of rely on those Cyclones as anti-air. Now, Maru can utilize his air advantage to get those Liberators in and snipe tanks from his opponent. Both players are just expanding, man, this is crazy. Now I like Maru's position just a tiny bit better. He has that extra starport already on the way. He has the next starport just finished up here, so 3 starport production from him. He does get ship weapons, which I find interesting. Might as well go for triple armory at this point. So he wants to play a Sky Terran style, and he cancels ship weapons and gets that. Okay, there we go. Gets that ground damage. Now on the other side, second armory is not even done yet. Vikings landed. If they can touch those Cyclones, they're gonna demolish, but they should never be able to, because the Cyclones can just outrun the Vikings. And base is gonna be cancelled. That's a great poke here from Gumiho. He's just throwing down more command centers. Alright, I have minerals. Let's make command centers. 4 at once. And Maru says the same. I have minerals. Let's make command centers. 4 at once. Maru going into that Raven interference matrix, and he's still producing more factories, so we will be going more into that deep mech style here for both players. Getting blue flame already is Gumiho. Both players seeing an insane SCV numbers. I hope Gumiho just stop producing more. He's sitting almost at 90 SCVs. Kind of small armies here. Nice picks there from those Cyclones, being very mobile, utilizing that swiftness. Pick off some static defense. Now everything's coming online for Maru here. Blue Flame, the transformation server, I like it because it's gonna help your Vikings to just be that much faster in the air and on the ground. And something every Terran should get. To get that Viking harassment, to really peak that one. And Gumiho is going into that full air transition now. Now is he gonna throw down another armory with this? That would be a smart move in my opinion if you go 5 starport. Or is he even gonna just go into plus 1 ship weapons immediately after the +1 damage here on those ground units. I think you need +2 though to 2-shot tanks, so even if you, like, it doesn't make that much sense. 175, 75, 175, 86, 160. Nah, you need it like plus, not even +3 is gonna 2-shot, right? You'll always 3-shot, I'm not sure. Probably always gonna 3-shot. And Maru is like, alright, I have the advantage already. I have 15 Vikings, I have ravens, I have everything in the air I need. He has a bunch of tanks. He should probably start to think about a Thor into his composition. But he has not seen this big transition into a... Oh my god, is Gumiho gonna go mass battlecruiser? I don't think that will work here, Gumiho, because yeah, he's making that fusion core, he's making that 3rd armory, by the way. But still, I don't think this is working, Gumiho, because Maru already has such a great air army. And he has so many Vikings and Ravens, you can just kind of Dorito cannon those battlecruisers and then you can snipe them so fast. Are you gonna go Mass Raven? Oh my god, it's Mass Raven. But what is he doing with like 4 Ravens at a time? I think Gumiho is overkilling this a little bit. It's too much in my opinion. Now Maru is getting his own backfield, but maybe he's gonna break Gumiho before Gumiho can get this Raven transition going. The Vikings quick to land and snatch those. And SCV has 2 days of work ahead of him, making 2 turrets. And yeah, losing a few SCVs was actually quite nice here for Maru. Now, trying to push in here, those Cyclones actually locking on are dealing so much damage, but the Ravens are disabling all of those tanks, so the siege line is never really shooting here for Gumiho, and maybe Maru can just push through. Now Gumiho decides to rotate, and is he gonna go for a base race? Okay, if Gumiho goes for a base race, I don't like it, because Gumiho is not good in base race. He's just not playing those smart enough most of the time. He's very slow to lift his buildings and evacuate and try to set up new locations, so yeah. Not a big fan of him actually trying to go for a base race. And Maru is like, alright, you try to go for a base race, I don't care, I don't want it. Now Gumiho is landing on top of those tanks, but actually tanks are kind of trading pretty decent against those Vikings. Yeah, only 1 Viking is gonna survive. And Maru can hold this position. He still has this base. He only lost a few workers, he lost a few units, but not too much. He lost those tanks in the front, alright. He loses the base now, alright. Cyclone damage is insane. And Gumiho still has a bunch of tanks, but he needs to sacrifice workers. He needs to realize that he has way too many workers at this point. 88 is way too much if you play against someone with 74. You can make just a better army. Now Ravens against Ravens. No, I guess Gumiho is just sacrificing his own Ravens into those Vikings, and then he's gonna lose all of his tanks because everything got disabled, and then he's gonna lose everything to those Vikings that land from Maru. Maru is looking fantastic here. Getting a huge supply lead. And Gumiho, all he has is minerals. Because he's slow to resaturate those gases. Even those down here. He could make Marines. He's making Hellions right now. That's how desperate he is. He never got this gas. He didn't mine out these patches. I mean, look at this. Maru has been mining here. He's already mined this out almost completely. So Maru definitely playing this map a tiny bit smarter, it seems, than Gumiho in the end here. And yeah, that's what he had to do, kind of make Hellions now to walk them around, and yeah, he's gonna GG. Maru is gonna win the Mech game. Game of Mech and chess. And we go into another map. Series now 2-1. Still for Gumiho. So he still only needs that one map to close it out. Next map is gonna be King's Cough. Another one. Big one. Easy to defend. And I think they swapped colors, man. Who did observe these games? I can't believe it. Who did let them swap colors so many times? Gumiho is blue now and Maru is red. And sorry, disconnect. Sorry, go. Okay, I think we just go with them. Top left, Maru, now in a different color. Bottom right, Gumiho, also in a different swapping colors, left and right. I think they did, didn't they? I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, Gumiho was definitely red last game. Maru is blue, now Gumiho is blue and Maru is red. There you go. Typical home Surrey Cup. I mean, it didn't happen while I was there. Unfortunately, no. I'm not anymore. Both players going for that one rags hand potentially, but Maru? Very late to mine that gas. Interesting approach. What is his plan? Is he gonna make a hidden base? No. He just checked for a proxy. No, Gumiho was just fast to mine that gas, I guess. He has so much excess gas. What is he doing? He's gonna produce something sneaky. No, he's also checking for proxies. Both players are so afraid of proxies on this map. This is insane. I mean, it's a huge map. Factory coming online first here for Gumiho, not Maru. And Maru is gonna throw down Factory himself. Marines already been produced for both players. First time we agree to go into a stalemate situation here at the start with no big Reaper swings for both players. Starport on the way. Third CC though for Maru. So he wants to go the defensive greedy route. Wants to get ahead in that economy. And he's throwing down his Stargate now, or Starport, whatever you want to call it, the thing that makes air units, the guys that can fly. Is he gonna swap this? No, he's gonna build his own tack lab here, Gumiho. Gumiho has made a Banshee even before in this series, so you can kind of expect anything or everything from this guy. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to see. Could be whatever he likes in the moment. It's gonna be a Raven in this moment, apparently. A Reaper going across here. Wants to get a scout. You have that one Reaper still defensive, waiting for that Reaper jumping up. Gumiho is not going to be fast enough with that mine. So the Reaper does get a good scout. Sees basically what he wanted to see. No third CC. And Maru? No. He's gonna swap over for extra marine production now. I was thinking if you might go for Mech again. The map, while it does enable you to get a lot of bases with Mech. It feels like you cannot really push across the map. But Gumiho says otherwise. Says, I'm gonna be fine. But he has no third CC. This is so weird. Why is he making so many factories if he does not have that economy to actually support that big of an infrastructure? I mean, it's gonna be super barely. It might be an all-in from this position for him. But I think he's gonna throw down a third CC now, before he produces any units. Just holds unit production for a moment, and then he's gonna start that CC here. Now Maru is gonna scan this and reveal the situation. He knows Mech. Yeah, that was Maru's Marine. Alright. Now Gumiho's still not making that CC. I'm puzzled by this. He's putting himself more and more in an all-in position. I mean, look at this. Maru is making a 4th command set at this point because he saw that SCV there. He's like, alright, you have an SCV. Now Gumiho just wants to push. He just wants to kill Maru, I feel like. Why is he not pulling SCVs then? Just doesn't make any sense. Why did he not place that 3rd? He's kind of pushing himself into very weird. Now he starts the 3rd. It's so late. I mean, look at this. The 4th is halfway done for Maru. And he's gonna scan that now. He's gonna be wait, what? I'm this far behind economically? Oh my god. And he doesn't really have that big of a unit lead because Maru is going for bio. I like the standard. Now we do have the big engage, a few nice disables here. No disables from Gumiho. He never got that. I think he... Oh my god, I think that's the big mistake he made there. He wanted to disable units, but he never got the spell. Look at this. Now he has to throw down auto turrets. They don't do anything. They don't even get placed. And Maru? I mean, he cancels the base. So the 4th base, at least that brings Gumiho back a little bit. That was a very clever move indeed. And he does kill 19 SCVs, so he clears this area. But imagine if he would have dropped those auto turrets. He could have killed Maru here at this point. Now, can Maru stabilize this? Gumiho go into that Mech field. Base is about to finish up here. And Maru, I mean, as far as he was ahead on that CC, extra CC, if he could have held that one, it would have been great. Double starport here being added for Gumiho behind this. Now, Maru has the better army, does he? So we have the same amount, and we do have a Marine here shooting from down under. Gonna help this fight swing in favor of Gumiho. But Gumiho, I think he just missed. He forgot to make interference matrix. I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. He tried to interference matrix and it wouldn't go off. And his ravens literally didn't cast a spell. I'm 100% sure that's what happened there. Another reactor? Going full Viking. Viking tank. Going into an armory. What is... Oh, Maru is checking this base as well. So how far are you ahead? Actually, not really. Actually, you're not really ahead. And I was so far ahead that I'm still fine, is what he sees right now. I'm still ahead. Even after all of that great engagement and that amazing trading for Gumiho, Maru is still ahead because he still has this 4th base. He has already upgrades going. He doesn't have that extra infrastructure, so he might have trouble soon, but he has the correct army to deal with what Gumiho has. And he has the correct amount of workers. 84, that's better than 69. to have that lead. Oh wow, that turret got destroyed, man. And we do have still the air army here. AoE actually being added in from those liberators, but Maru needs to do something in the air here. He has not enough. Oh, that command center dies. I can't believe it. What is he doing, man? What the frick? And how is Gumiho not winning this even harder? He had 9 Vikings to 5. How is that? How is Maru kind of still fighting on here? And how does Maru not lift his command center? What the? Did he make a planetary? Why do you make a planetary if you're up against Mech? Did I see that correctly? Did he lose a planetary? Why do you make a planetary if you play against Mech, Maru? Alright, I guess Gumiho destroys it and evens out the score. Now Gumiho's ahead quite a bit. He has the better army, he has the better transition, he has the better economy, he has the better base setup. Maru has more SCVs, but that's about all. Cyclones trying to go in here on the sideline. Vikings are gonna find a barracks. Maru is, by the way, not playing Bio, he's also playing Mech, of course. He has a second barracks, so that's kind of funny. And he has a third barracks, so yeah, he made 3 barracks and then he decided to go against Bio. I think he cancelled Stim. He was researching that at one point. And he does not want to fall behind in the efficiency game. Yeah, both players making more and more star points. This is so funny. Gumiho going into number 4 and 5 at this point. And that third armory. I wonder when one player is gonna start make a Thor and realize that those Viking clouds are actually not that great against Thor shots. Trying to do it with Viking, Cyclone, auto turrets, no Thors, everything's being scouted here by Maru. He sees that air transition coming in, by Gumiho. It's gonna make him quite happy, I assume, because he knows that he's ahead in infrastructure and that air race. Sees the double Raven coming in, and he himself is just making Vikings. He's just freaking killing Vikings, or producing Vikings. Now, landing Vikings over here, landing Vikings over here. Oh my god, this is a disaster for Maru. Can he hang on? Oh my god, single-filed rallying units, mechanical units into those Vikings. Just not what you are looking for. Now, this being said, after killing 13, 15 SCVs, Maru is still in an SCV lead. It's just starting to dwindle here at this point. Those Vikings have so much damage against armor. 20 at a 0.7 speed, it's insane. Killing so many units, but Maru still has a lot of SCVs, so he's not that terrible off. He did retake the space. Please don't make any planetaries anymore. Gumiho is still trying to break him here. Well, Maru tries to regain this position, but... Oh, lift! Yes. In the end, it doesn't really, I mean... Maru is still, he has enough of the map here. And he has enough of this position to be fine. He needs to repair this command center though. Can't lose that. And he needs something to break this 3 siege tank line there. Now what is Gumiho doing behind this? He's starting to get that fusion core. Is he gonna add some BCs potentially? He has those, by the way, those nice, yeah, armories. Let's get them going. And he's, by the way, foregoing those ground upgrades. I thought he went into a third armory while it was only a second one. And Maru did not grab 3-3 upgrades for himself. And he's just evacuating this base to different locations. He's going to mine this area here. When is someone gonna drop a mule here or here? There we go, Thors. Gumiho was the first to make some. It's gonna kill this barracks quite handily. +3, finally being clicked here for Maru. But I feel like the plate might be even a little bit better because there's so much focus gonna be on air here. It seems like in the next moments. Now Maru needs to get this corner of the map. He needs to break this army. He needs to get these. This is 3 bases that Gumiho is denying. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 base, and then the 4th behind this one. That's so many bases there for Maru. Now finally enough ravens. I've stacked enough energy that this is gonna be easily pushed over here. And yeah, Maru finally establishing that control here in the top part of the map. Now actually, yes, Gumiho is going into those battlecruisers. That might be a throw. Because you can't really go battlecruiser against Raven. The disable is just too strong. You can't flee. Why would you go FVC? Can't teleport out anymore. And Maru realizing that he's missing that blue flame. But he might be able, yeah, he's gonna spot those VCs. That's a nice scout. He's gonna kill that command center so quickly. He wants to lock on one more. He's gonna get that kill most likely as well. Few more volleys and it pops as well. Cyclones are crazy at sniping command centers. Insane. Gumiho is trying to mess up a BC army. The Cyclones should be amazing against BCs. Especially if they have Raven support. Now can Maru... Yeah, I think he has too many Ravens. He just has too many Ravens, look at this. Everything's getting overrun. Raven Cyclone is apparently how you want to play a game in TvT. And not battlecruiser tank. As you can see, completely getting destroyed here. Gumiho has no money to remake this army in time. No chance, he has no position on the map. He's gonna lose this game, I think. This is looking so good for Maru right now. That engage was everything. It's such an expensive army he destroyed there. We can take a look at the resources lost. He's about 6k up after this fight. Can Gumiho establish another army? Can he come back? Gumiho is trying to bait the army back. And then he wants to jump on top of this, but actually everything is here, so Ravens are just gonna disable, man. Those battlecruisers are just doing nothing. It's insane. They literally did nothing. I think if you have Yamato and you can snipe the Ravens before the fight goes on with those Yamatos, then you have a good shot with those battlecruisers, but it depends on how you can use them, right? Now, that being said though, Maru did not manage to push through and win the game, but he established a big lead for himself. That being said though, TvT can be very volatile. And big leads can disappear in a moment. Now he's trying to roam that left side and kill some of these command centers, but yeah, Cyclones should die here. One Hellion trying to chase down the rest is gonna die. Gumiho has no attack upgrades, and plus against a +3 armor Cyclone, a Hellion doesn't really do anything anymore. It's a 0/0 and no blue flame. I mean, these Hellions are literally not doing anything. 9 damage. Being reduced by 4. That's 5 damage. That's like a worker hit. And here's how much HP? 120 HP. And divide that by 5. 22 shots. For a Hellion to kill a Cyclone here. 22 shots. So yeah, this is a complete waste These Hellions, they should go and try harass SCVs. Do something they can do, become Hellbats to try and tank a little bit more. With an extra HP. And Gumiho needs to research ground weapons 2 and 3 as fast as possible. But I think he might just get broken again. He has nothing to counteract to those Ravens. No Thors anymore. Everything is just gonna fall apart here. It's not that big of an army actually from Maru that's pushing in, but the Ravens just disabling everything makes that everything just dies here without shooting. And now the Vikings are gonna kind of save the day here for Gumiho. He's gonna stay alive again, and it feels like this aggression was not the greatest push here from Maru. But he has the big money lead at this point. He can kind of pay in dividends here. Can take up some loans and be fine. Look at this. Oh, this is hurting my eyes. And then they turn around. I mean, the Cyclone even, there's one Cyclone could have killed all of those Hellions alone. Gumiho needs some tanks in this position. He needs that tank upgrade, damage upgrade. He needs those ground weapons. Battlecruisers even dying like flies, falling like flies to those Tycoon missiles. Lock on. Now finally he's thinking Hellions might not do the trick against those Cyclones. Maybe I can do something else with those. But I guess not. Now Vikings, can they kill a planetary? It does not say mechanical. Oh, it is actually mechanical. Do they do that bonus damage? I wonder. Again, Maru trying to go for the big break here. He's gonna interference matrix all of the tanks. Take away that AoE damage, but he does not have the tanks himself. And if Cyclones get in range of those Vikings, well, the Vikings will win the fight. If the Cyclones can kite, they're gonna have a good day. Now, Ravens are trying to throw down those auto turrets, but Vikings are also pretty good against auto turrets, actually. Because everything's mechanical. Now, the battlecruisers were trying to intercept some of those Ravens. It was a cute move there by Gumiho, but in the end, I mean, Gumiho stays alive again. Maru was not able to break him, and I think this base got killed, right? So, kudos to Gumi. He will most likely get his half of the map. But what is Maru gonna do next? He's just gonna go for the same again, it seems like. Cyclone, Raven, and if he can get enough disables, he should be able to finish off the game, right? That's a thing. This is a funny location. Just some turrets. And he needs to find that army. He wants to go for that army fight. He's scanning to find out where's your units? Where is everything? And there we go. Ravens again throwing down all of those interference matrix, throwing down some auto turrets. A few Vikings are starting to trade in that air, and Cyclones are just plowing through everything here on the ground. Oh my god, they kill things so fast. Insane. As long as there's no tanks to counteract those. And the Ravens are making short work of those tanks with those interference matrices. Now even throwing down matrices on other things. On Vikings on basically everything at this point. Starting to run out of low on energy a little bit. He has one tank in the back, and as you can see, those Vikings, if they get in range, they can trade, but Gumiho is gonna give up here. And has to get out of that game, unfortunately. I just wanted to check. 26 damage against mechanical, that's a lot on those Vikings. Oops. So, 2-2 is the score. But here we are. In the top left it is Vitality's Maru, and in the bottom right it is Gumiho, who used to play Bo5 some gaming. Hello MW, good to see you. I hope you have a good day. I'm just starting to finish off the series, which I think I did on Friday. Sorry, on what is it? Saturday NA? Last week. My last streaming day last week, basically. And yeah. On Monday or Sunday or whatever it is. I just wanted to do the Brood War stream this week. And then yesterday we had the Wings of Liberty tournament. Oh, I have no sound. There we go. We had the Wings of Liberty tournament, and that of course did push back this agenda a little bit, but it was a great stream, I think. For me personally, it was so much fun to watch Wings of Liberty back. It's like, it's different. It's crazy. It's really crazy, to be honest. It feels so broken, and I think I actually like it. Well, that one we just do on this good channel, Atosis Casts 2, and we split the revenue from that one, so an indirect payment, yeah. But that was a lot of fun. At least for me, it was really super enjoyable. I've never professionally observed Wings of Liberty. Basically, oh god, I think I came in after the Legacy of the Void release. Pretty sure my first professional gig was pretty much within the year that Legacy of the Void release. So 2016, I had my first amateur gig, I guess, as a unpaid observer. A few, and then at Home Story Cup, for example, my first appearance, and then I had like the Nation Wars very, very late in that year. Nation Wars 3 or 4? I'm not sure which one it was. And that was my first paid one, actually. And then it kind of exploded from there. But I think that was all Legacy of the Void, right? Legacy of the Void should have been released 2016. Out of the Swarm did release 2012, I want to say. Late 2012. So 2013 were most of the tournaments in that one, I'm pretty sure. And we had like 3 years of Heart of the Swarm, right? 13, 14, 15, and 16 was like Legacy of the Void stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of around that stuff, that whatever you call it. So for me personally, doing anything else than Legacy of the Void was actually something very new and fresh, I have to say. It was super much fun. Seeing all those things which I only enjoyed as a fan myself, right? I was of course watching basically all StarCraft I could watch at the time. And not skipping any GSLs and everything. I even saw all the side content, and yeah. It's really a capacity at watching StarCraft. Consuming it. And then eventually to get the same game, exact game, in my hands. Also, it was my most active time as a player myself, so I had a lot of fond memories myself with all of those units and with the like how they operated exactly on that state of the patch. By the way, Maru is coming across with a few units here. This is gonna get intercepted by Gumiho. Oh, I need to change the health bars. I'm gonna do that after this battle here. And only a tank and 2 marines do... Oh my god, is he gonna lose the tank? No, I do survive here. It's 3 marines. Okay, let me quickly put those health bars. Damage, there you go. Okay, no one has seen this. Everything's correct. Nothing... That's basically my settings if I take screenshots for the thumbnails. Yeah. Was Wings of Liberty when StarCraft 2 was at its most popular? I think... No? I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty I think, if I'm correctly, if memory serves correctly, the actual peak was in Heart of the Swarm. But it was not because Heart of the Swarm was the better game. that's like two different things you need to see at that point. The big issue was at first, like streaming in general was not that accessible. Internet connections weren't that strong yet. There was a lot of low quality streams. Twitch just kind of started. So that was like one of the good things that happened for StarCraft. There was no League of Legends yet, but there was just not that many people into watching games yet as well. And also a lot of people just did not have the possibility because they didn't have that internet connection that was needed. And it was also not as popularized throughout the major knowledge from people, right? So people of course know all about games and stuff, which kind of, I think World of Warcraft really made like gaming as a general kind of mainstream at that time. And that was like 5 years later-ish when StarCraft released, StarCraft 2, right? And that's with the start of kind of esports 2.0, if you want to say so. So esports 1.0 would be basically what happened in South Korea mostly with StarCraft Brood War, and then you have like, of course, esports tournaments already, which happened all across the world. You had like Warcraft 3, kind of big in Europe for quite a while. You had Counter-Strike, very big in Europe and internationally in NA as well. But there wasn't like no big structure behind this. There were some tournaments, there was like some companies doing things like Samsung, but there was like no publishers standing behind that. So the big wave of where now publishers basically push in tons and tons of money into those tournaments, that started kind of with StarCraft 2, and it needed time to grow, right? And that grew extremely fast during Wings of Liberty, and the growth didn't stop during Heart of the Swarm. So eventually, in Heart of the Swarm though, the game kind of became very stale for a lot of people. There was a lot of interactions that did not enhance the game fun, I want to say, and the viewing experience as well. So a lot of people actually kind of went away from StarCraft 2 and watching StarCraft 2. Also League of Legends did release, I'm pretty sure in 2012 or 13 or something around that. So that's also a big factor, where there's suddenly this free-to-play MOBA, which you can just play and watch, and you can play with your friends and stuff. So that's also one big factor that kind of ate into StarCraft 2, of course. And then the big thing though is, like, if you talk viewership peak, I think we had one of the biggest viewerships during the BlizzCon that Cyril won, 2018 I want to say. That was quite insane. So we had quite good peaks during Legacy of the Void as well. It's not like it is like the dead game, but we already had like the dead game memes at that point, because of course it was on a decline in Legacy, with that basically all the other games releasing, publishers putting money into esports tournaments and funding those and circuits and kind of structuring everything and making it more and more easy to follow and accessible and stuff. So that's basically the whole process behind that. And there was a lot of stuff going on at that time, but I think the peak, the actual popularity peak, would have been Heart of the Swarm if you talk average, while it was not actually that much like the actual, how do you say, the level it was rising with, like the I only can think of the Japanese word, right? What's the English word? The amount it rises within a short time, it basically started to decline. If you know what I mean. So you have like this curve which just increases, and it's like an exponential progression, I think. And then it starts to slow down, right? If you know those kind of curves. And that's what happened in Heart of the Swarm. It wasn't at its peak yet, but the growth did decline. Yes, basically. And then that kind of, I guess, made all the rest happen. And now we're probably in a more of a declining area. But, I mean, it's still actually quite interesting to see how many people still watch StarCraft if we do get those major tournaments. We have very packed crowds. We have, especially in NA, we have extremely high viewership actually for those S-tier tournaments. Like, what is it called? The Esports World Cup was actually not terrible. And if we would have had a little bit of longer days on that final day... By the way, this is a great push here. Gumiho is gonna break this one. There's no coming back at this position here for Maru. He has a lot of Ravens, they have a bunch of energy, but they can't do anything because there's just too much on the ground for Gumiho. He doesn't care about a few Raven energies and spells. Gumiho might just kill Maru here. Man. Maru had like 4 tanks completely, or 5 tanks even, not participating in this fight. That's a lot of supply, which is just not kind of guarding a different area, right? Now Vikings landing on those tanks, can they break this? Actually, yeah, man, Vikings insane here. That plus Mech damage, but Gumi is reinforcing with the Vikings and the number is dwindling here for Maru, and yeah, GG's gonna be called, man. Gumi's just gonna take it, and I was not even finished. There you go.